Before I get into the main talking points of everything that I want to mention today, I want to just bring out two disclaimers. One, if you are someone who has made profit from something like ARK, doesn't mean that you are not allowed to criticize it. Every person enters an investment vehicle in order to make money out of it, right? In order to profit from it. But that doesn't mean that if you are that person, that you cannot say your thoughts. Why are things not going as planned, and where are the shortcomings? Second disclaimer is that critiques are very important for every project's success. So you need to say your piece. You need to say, what do you think went wrong, or what do you think happened for something to derail, as opposed to something that was supposed to go in a certain direction, based on promises, marketing, all of that. There will be a total of 3 to 4 points that I want to discuss today and touch base on. Now, of course, there won't be any bashing of the project. There won't be any direct attack, so to speak, FUD, whatever you want to call it. It's more like critique and what should have been done in the first place. All right, so it's gonna go back to what are the things that could have been done in order to avoid the situation right now. So that's the main talking point. Now, full disclosure, I just want to say that I have made 4 videos, I think, overall at the beginning of the ARKFI journey. So talking about the project itself, its main pros, differences between them and others in their own niche. But since then, I haven't covered it well, and I haven't covered it at all. And the main reason for that is the fact that there wasn't too much to talk about, to be honest. So it was rolling as usual, but I was always a supporter, even though I didn't like things that were happening, you know, back then on the spot, etc. So you can clearly see that the price has fallen from grace, right? So at its supposed peg of $5.71 or BUSD, we're right now at a fraction of this, 1.5 BUSD, and it keeps on decreasing every single day. Now, and that's very important, ARK came after its peers in the ROI niche, ROIdapp niche, so whatever you want to call it. So there are examples of failures of its predecessors that ARK could have capitalized on. And dissecting the reason behind the failures of, for example, Furio, Drip, and Piston, but Piston you cannot see a chart anymore apparently, and others. So those were the main ones that were on, you know, on everybody's mouths, and most people in our community were invested in them. And I'm sure there were other ones, and there still are smaller players in this niche. But you had the chance to capitalize on the failures of others. Now, needless to say that by implementing a few, you know, runways or prolonging the inevitable, that's not capitalizing on shortcomings. That's just doing things a bit differently, but the outcome will be the same. So, from the beginning, knowing the failures and the cons of the previous ROIdapps, namely the external revenue part, was very essential to the success here. And that brings me to this. That brings me to how the roadmap, or how things that have been done should have been done in retrospect. So what they did is they launched, then they moved on to make a mobile app, and now they're pushing towards something called ARKnet. Apparently it's a bunch of decentralized nodes that will form a network that people can build on. But you can learn more about this project if you go into details. They have a white paper right now on ARKnet. That's what they did. In my opinion, a mobile app is a waste of both time and money. So a waste of resources, because you're basically making something look a bit prettier, which in retrospect in crypto doesn't really make sense and doesn't matter. A person enters these to make money. So they will go to high length, they will go to BSC scan, whatever you want to call it, wherever, doesn't matter, to get that money out or to put that money in. Doesn't matter. So no matter how pretty you make it, it's not gonna make a difference. What should have been done, however, is set up an external revenue source first, at least one, launch, and then do ARKNet. Forget about the mobile app. Do ARKNet, which is also something that doesn't really benefit the ROIdapp other than it takes ARK out of circulation. So tokens. It's gonna have its own token, by the way, which I don't fully agree, but that's fine. So this is what should have happened, all right? But again, that's not my project, I'm just giving my opinion. And right now, if you go on Dune Analytics and you look at how the ILC reserve metric and its ceiling behaving in regards to the price, you see something unusual that happened here, all right? And that was pointed out, by the way, by me and a bunch of our community members. So this is where the price depegged, so to speak. But even though the price was moving downwards, ILC was moving upwards. Now sure, it corrected a bit, but still. So you had a situation first where ILC was moving up and down with buys and sells while the price is stabilized, even though it was trending downwards most of the time. But now you have a rising ILC and a decreasing price. Conclusion, liquidity has shifted. They moved away liquidity from A to B, and I don't know what's the plan here. Disregarding the fact that there was a bunch of money taken from people also to give back to early seed investors, which wasn't something disclosed. I don't know what was that about, but anyways. So this liquidity shift, I don't know what's up here. Maybe somebody can clarify. Maybe I'm misinformed. I'm happy to be wrong, but this is what I'm saying. And you can clearly see, if you go on the dapp, you can clearly see that the reserves are not bad. I think what the guys should do is that they should keep the reserves, dynamic and stabilize the price. You need to stabilize the price. If the price keeps falling, what will the point of these be? That's my question. I have no idea. And that brings me to the second point where they could capitalize on the failures of others. All the ROIdapp so far, they basically promise you a fixed return, 1%, 2%, whatever that may be. ARK did the same. What should be done, what should have been done, in my personal opinion, and that's disregarding the legacy NFTs that people paid for, because people wanted to hyper compound at 2% and they found a loophole to do so, which was advertised by the team, and that is redeposit your daily earnings. Sure, you're gonna lose a small portion when you redeposit because of taxes, but still you have a long runaway of 2% before you go down to 1%. So the compounding factor, the increasing debt that will not be able to be met, is there. They didn't change any of this. So why not offer a dynamic APR that, for example, has 2 variables or 3 variables? You have the buy sells that will affect the ILC reserve, so how much of this is being moved on a single day, and how much of money I'm getting from my supposed external revenue that wasn't even set up. So if that was there, and these 3 variables were taken into consideration, you get a dynamic APR on an ROIdapp contingent to whatever these variables are doing. And this makes more sense. Now, granted, perhaps at some point, failure would be imminent if you're not being able to meet your debt, but still, it's much better, honestly, by design than whatever this is right now, whatever this is doing. So, plus, no more hyper compounding, decreasing that max payout, reevaluating those metrics, so all of these things. So I think, disregarding the daily AMAs, disregarding whatever is being done in the background, and even though there are also some concerns in regards to whatever they want to build versus the capacity of people that they have to build this. I don't know. I'm not in the team. I don't have insights on this. Maybe they can do it. That would be awesome, I guess. But disregarding all of this, the core value of whatever they built is this, and that's the reason many people came into the project, and this should have been the focus again, as many have failed previously. So just conclusion, I'm not here to attack the project, I'm not here to bash it, I'm just saying things that should have been done and things that should have been set up from the beginning, or at least changed during the course of the first 6 months, where they had the time to set up external revenue and things that actually matter for the survivability rate of the ROIdapp. Alright? I think I'm gonna end it here, and I hope you stuck around till the end. Thank you if I gave you some value with everything that I said. I will most probably make an update if something positive comes in or negative as well. So with that, thank you once more. See you in the next time. Have a good one.